everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is March 5th, 2024. In this video, you're going to be encouraged. All right, you're just going to be you're going to be glad you watched this video. I'm going to bring you a word at the end of it. It's going to help you. It's actually from August 23rd, 2022, so it's kind of old, but it's going to help you, all right, because it helped me this morning. I started crying when I was reading it. So that, I'm going to bring you that. I want to bring forward some people who are hurting that are in my circle of friends. So I'm going to just tell you about that here in a little bit. And I'm going to tell you a story, a family story about fishing. Okay, so that's what's going to happen in this video. Now, let's just start at the get-go. There is a family I know. They are viewers of this channel, all right, and they are contributors in comments and stories sometimes, and dreams. This family I've known for decades, and I love dearly, and their children are my heart. They're all grown up now. That's what this situation is. This brother of mine who lives close to me, his son has a son who's 5 years old, who's in ICU, and is really, really sick. Really sick. Has had health problems since birth. But this child is sick. And I just found out about it last night. I want to bring it to the channel here, because I know you're the kind of people who will pray for people you don't even know, but who are, well, brothers and sisters, or not brothers and sisters. They're just people who are hurting. Y'all, I had a friend this week, a different friend, say, remind me, we are the hope. We are the hope for the world. We are the hope for each other. And when someone in our brotherhood, our family, fellow believers, are so exhausted from the storm they're in, they can't even pray. Sometimes you can't even put together a sentence, all right, in your head. That's why we're here for each other. Hey, don't worry. I got your back. We're praying, all right? We're praying. You're going to get through this. You're going to get through this storm, all right? Now, so I'm going to just leave that there before I say something that's just too much. Please pray for that family, all right? My neighbors. We'll just call them my neighbors. So there's that. So this week I actually have an opportunity to go and teach at our school here in town. Now, I do have my teaching certificate, and this, that, and the other, but I am not going to take that job for all kinds of reasons. One is, and please forgive me, if you're a teacher, I do not mean this badly in any way, shape, or form. But where I live, you're not allowed to mention God, Jesus, prayer, or anything like that. Now, you can mention meditation, you can mention good thoughts, and I understand that. And that's good. And there are teachers who are believers who are going to that classroom. Y'all are heroes. I mean, that's how I really feel that. You're heroes for going in there and doing what you can in the name of Jesus for those children. My mouth is too big. There is no way I could do a show. I mean, it was for a drama teacher, and there's no way I could do a show or do anything without something coming out that would probably cause a lawsuit. So I have chosen not to take that job. But I was talking to another friend about it, not the one that's in trouble, but another friend, and she said, we're the hope. We have the hope in Jesus that the world needs. So when people are despairing, unbelievers who are struggling with what their gender is, manic depressive, suicide, well, I can't say that word, thoughts that are self-harming, those kinds of issues, the hope is Jesus. The answer is Jesus Christ in all of those situations. And I think we need to remember that we are that to the world. And without hope, what do we have? Despair. And so, for those of you who are in the middle of a storm, I promise you, the storm will pass. It may be decades before the storm passes. It may take your death and crossing into the eternity with Christ for your storm to pass. But it will pass. It's only a matter of time. I promise. So let me tell you this funny family story. Okay? Hang on, gotta get a drink. I married into this family in 1986. And they love fishing. All right, they love fishing. And my father-in-law not only loved fishing, but he also loved a good deal. All right? So he is known. I'll just tell you this story. One time we went and got a boat in Dallas with my father-in-law. It was me, my husband, our sick daughter, Amanda, who was like, I don't know, 3 at the time, and Papa. We all loaded up. She had a doctor's appointment at Cook's Children in Dallas, and he had a brother-in-law that had a boat that he was going to sell Papa that boat for $500. And not only the boat, we weren't just picking up that boat with Papa, but we were also getting this dinette set with 4 chairs. Okay, a little kitchen table. Now, I think somebody had died, and that, their stuff was like, hey, come get the stuff, all right? So I think that was the situation, but it was a long time ago. So we loaded up with Papa. We took off. We did this in one day. Okay, now it takes us 8 hours to get to Dallas. Yeah, well let's call it 7. What with a 3-year-old 8, all right? 8 hours. We're gonna go up there, do the doctor's appointment, pick up that boat, pick up that dinette set, and like book it back to the Panhandle. So that's what we're gonna do, and we did it. We did it. But what was interesting? So it got this, and the boat looked cool. I'm not gonna lie, the boat looked cool. It was an old boat, like from the 60s, 70s. Okay, so we're heading back across the Panhandle. We put the dinette set in the boat with the chair, strapped it down with the, we did all the stuff, and then we just left. Okay. So we got back home. They eventually went on a fishing trip with the boat, and they backed it into the lake off the trailer at the boat dock, and the boat kept backing and backing and backing, because it wasn't until they were in the lake that they realized this boat only ran in reverse. It did not run in forward at all. No matter if you put it in forward, it didn't matter. The boat just went backwards. And that is how they fished that day. That he thought, well, we're in the lake already. We might as well make a day of it. So they rode that boat backwards all through the lake, fished, backed it up onto the trailer, and then, like, no one ever took that boat out again. So that, that story, that boat. Now, there was this other boat. Once again, older and dirt. I mean, I think Jesus probably used this boat on the Sea of Galilee. That's what I think. That's how old this boat was. And it was, it had its quirks. And if you learned its quirks, you could make it work, all right? You really could. But there were little tweaky things you have to do. I'm not even going to go into those details. We hauled that boat up to Colorado, all right? We were up there as an extended family now. So and this time, this was before Mike and I had children. So I was 7 months pregnant for this trip with our first child. And then his brother and sister-in-law and their 2-year-old was in the boat with us. But Mike was not. And Papa was not. They had gone stream fishing earlier. So here's who was in this old boat. It was me, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, their 2-year-old, and my mother-in-law. Okay, there were 6 people in this boat. And y'all, it was pretty tight fit, not going to lie. Well, we got way out on this lake in Colorado, way out. And suddenly, the boat just flat didn't work. It wasn't going to move. It didn't even start. It didn't even start. We're out there just drifting along, okay? And we're thinking, what are we going to do? Well, about that time, I do not know how this happened, but on the road next to the lake, we looked up and saw Papa and Mike driving along in the Jeep, and they were just waving at us like, hi, look, there they are. They're probably catching a lot of fish. And we were like, help us. And they thought, look at them waving, and then finally they figured out, hey, they're in trouble. So we were able to row over to the shore with the one oar that we found in the boat. Now, there's supposed to be 2 oars in the boat. Am I right? No, no, we only had one oar, and we rowed over to the shore. Everybody got out except me because there ain't no way I was 7 months pregnant was going to be able to get up that bank. Then Papa and Mike came down the bank, got in the boat. They were able to start rowing, and they switched. They took turns rowing. We were far away from that shore, y'all. And as we were rowing, I was saying things like, well, it could be worse. It could be raining. Oh, it could be worse. It could be getting dark. Oh, it could be worse. I could be going into labor. I mean, I was saying all of these things while Papa and Mike were just being quiet. Finally, Mike stopped and he turned around and he said, Gina, let's not talk about how much worse this could be and just enjoy how bad it is. Let's not think about how much worse this could be, but just enjoy how bad it is. And from that, I knew that was my cue to just sit quietly until we got it loaded on the trailer and got out of that lake. And I was quiet. But since then, that has been a family story and a family motto. Sometimes we go through things and, the optimistic person, you're like, just shut up. Can you just shut up? You're annoying. You're making things worse. I know that we're believers in Jesus and we're supposed to have these attitudes of Christ, but sometimes, y'all, I slip. I don't know about anybody else. So that was one of those times. And the point I want to make, I tell you that's family story. And you probably figure there's lots of applications probably. But one of the things I want you to take away from that story is we made it to shore. We made it to the dock. It did take effort. It took a team. It took two men, two grown men. But we made it. And as far away as that shore felt, y'all, and we were far away. The wind picked up and the waves started moving us. And eventually we got to where we were safe and out of that situation, out of that danger. To my brother and sister who live near me, I don't even know if you're going to be able to watch this video, but I'll just put this out into the world. You're going to make it. The storm is dark right now. I know this to be true. But the sun will come out again. It won't be today. And it probably won't be tomorrow or the next. But the sun will come out again. And on the other side of this storm, if you so choose, and I know you will because I've been watching you a lot of years, you will be stronger in faith. You will be stronger in faith. So there is that. There is that. That is what the storms of our life create in us. They create endurance. And then when I go through a storm, when I get done through the storm I go through, then I'm able to be much more compassionate and much more, I can relate more to what others are going through. So be thankful even in the storms. It's hard. Oh, that's hard. Sitting in that boat, rowing like we were, and it was kind of getting hot. Y'all, it was hard to be thankful. And honestly, sometimes it's okay to sit back and see the reality of it all and go, man, we're in a stinking crap show right now. My whole life is falling apart. It's okay to be at that point. I've been at that point many, many, many times. So you get through it. I mean, the Lord sent wind that day to push us into shore. And the Lord will send you exactly what you need to weather whatever storm you're going through. And you can look around this world and see that we're not the only ones. I mean, it's everything's bigger than we are right now. Everything is happening faster. The fires in the Panhandle that are just right down the road from me, they're in Texas. People are suffering, but they will get through. They will get through. So, with that being said, I want to read something from Philippians, and I've read this before. I think I've already read this to you before, but we're going to read it again. Philippians 3. This is what Paul says. Paul, the guy who used to kill Christians, his brothers and sisters, imagine his PTSD, y'all. Paul says in chapter 3, verse 12, the second part of 12. But I press on to possess that perfection for which Christ Jesus first possessed me. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing. It's a mind thing. It's a mind choice. But I choose to focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. Let all who are spiritually mature agree on these things. If you disagree on some point, I believe God will make it plain to you. But we must hold on to the progress we have already made. So sitting in that boat, y'all, we pressed on to the shore. And we could tell we were making progress, bit by bit, little by little. And you can do the same. Every storm you go through is pushing you closer to the end of the race. The life we're walking in. Press and look at the prize. Don't look back. Don't look back. Just keep looking at Jesus. Don't take your eyes off of him. You know, even Peter, when he got out of that boat, was going to walk on the water with Jesus. The moment he saw the waves is when he went under the water. Don't look at the waves, y'all. Don't look at the storm. Just Jesus. You'll get through. I promise. So, that being said, let's go on to what I wrote down in my journal on August 23rd, 2022. And it's not very long, y'all. I was struggling at this point in my life about some things. And I heard the Lord say, it will be over soon. So during my worship time, early in the morning, I was in angst about some things that were hurting, that were hard. It actually had to do with my husband being in a car wreck. It really wrecked him. It will be over soon. And I asked Father, then what? Then what? And then I heard, streams of mercy never ceasing. And then he said, the days of my return, the days and times, child, are not meant for you to know. But this one thing I can tell you. Long for the Lord your God in this very moment at which you breathe the air I have given you. Watch with anticipation, for my return is near. And I said, but soon for you, Father, and near to you doesn't always mean what it does to me. I said, so how does that square up? Because I just have to talk straight with God like that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means, Father. Explain it. Teach it to me. And this is what I heard him say. Go in my ways, child. Be ever joyful in the hope of my return. For in that hope are the seeds of faith. And in that faith is salvation for my children. With each passing day comes the nearness of me. That is how you hope. As the sun sets, cry out to me. The Lord draws nearer, ever nearer. And that's all I wrote down that day. And so for those of my brothers and sisters who are sitting here listening to this video, while I'm sitting here by myself in my pantry, because my family is so loud in my house, I don't have a private place to even make a video, so I come out here. For those of you who are listening and struggling, know that our Lord knows. He knows. And you're not going to drown. It will feel like it. I know what that feels like. But you're going to make it. Keep looking at the shore. Press on to the goal, heaven. If you're tired of rowing, then just let the wind of the Holy Spirit sweep you along. He will sustain you. I promise you. Y'all, I think that's all I have right now. Please commit to Jesus if you haven't already. He loves you very much. Salvation is yours through him. That's all I have, y'all. Stay safe, America. Stay safe, Texas. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.